that he's kind of like, he seems a little unfocused. And then as you walk over to Nyx and tap him on the chest, Nyx, not really like rudely, but kind of in a way of concealing Marin to kind of conceal, like, respect his privacy as he experiences what he's currently experiencing. He kind of turns his body a little bit so that he's like shielding Marin from you. And he looks up at you and kind of glances down at Marin before saying, bad dream, I think. He'll be fine shortly, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we don't really have shortly right now.
Yeah, I know. He turns to Marin and kind of like pulls back the jacket a little so he can see him better, and he whispers he doesn't really whisper something. He kind of takes Marin's hand and points it at himself, and you can understand from previous interactions with them that he exchanges something silently with Marin. And you see Marin kind of uncurl from against Nyx. He's not really making eye contact with anyone, but he starts picking up his belongings and gathering them while still keeping this coat kind of like huddled over him, so you can't really... He's trying and failing to hide the fact that he's kind of shaking right now.
I don't think that we can move Gunby. I just blanked on what's her name's name. Reyna? Sorry.
No, it's good.
Reyna, you can keep him somewhere, right? If we leave, Marin won't come after just a solo party member. He'd look for the majority of us, right?
I'm sorry, but if they took Alaric, then I'm not going to stay here. His life might be in danger. I'm going to go with you.
Okay. Could we just leave him here then? It's not ideal, but like, I'm not strong enough to carry him.
Really up to you.
I was gonna mention something. Initially I was gonna suggest I could cast illusionatory terrain to perhaps give us some more time to prep, because we don't know how close Marin is right now. He could literally be walking in the tent right now. But we could also, if we leave Gumby here, I could cast it as a cloak, so that it'll be mostly safe. Better than nothing.
What is the spell as a DM question?
Oh yeah, hallucinatory terrain. Let me pull it up on.
Also, I'm sorry in advance if you can hear me kind of sorting through my dice. I realized that I didn't actually bring out the
Okay.
the set that I used for Nyx. There we go.
Hallucinatory terrain. There we go.
Okay. Like natural terrain.
It would be against a investigation, yeah.
Okay, so this seems to be kind of like Gumby would still be visible. He'd just be like
and creatures
in a swamp or something, wouldn't he? It would be basically like, hey, don't go in there because it's like a swamp or a cliff or something.
You see Gumby sitting in a chair, but it's over it's way past like a cliff, so it's like standing in midair. I'm like, Gumby.
Yeah, Gumby's like levitating on like cliff. Yeah, he's on like a chunk of land floating in a pool of lava or something, and it's just like, holy shit, what happened?
See, this is why we read spells, guys. This is why we read full spell descriptions.
That's what I was kind of like, hallucinatory terrain sounds like it would alter the land that you're in, but not really act as like a cloaking device. So now we know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Plan B. I have besides my wonderful repertoire of hallucinatory terrain. I also have locate creature, which I'm hoping it does exactly as it sounds.
That sounds a little more feasible if you're
Specific,
trying
yeah.
to locate Marion.
Yeah. So if you guys want, I'm just gonna have to take a bit of a concentration, but we could find out exactly where Marion is right now. Perhaps he's not directly on his way here now as we speak.
Yeah, that sounds like it would probably be a good idea. As you are kind of like preparing to cast a spell, Gumby kind of like sits up and looks over at you guys, and he pulls out the ponytail holder that he keeps his pink hair tied up in, as kind of like a way to relieve some of any kind of tension on his head. And he takes a deep breath and he goes, "Guys, I'm fine. I'm sure I can at least walk. It's not that bad."
Well,
Excuse me, I understand you are a cleric, but you're being dumb.
Listen,
You need to rest.
I've read a lot of books. I've studied a little bit of healing. I think I know what I'm talking about. It's my own body, Jez. Name a creature. Okay.
well,
Within 1,000 feet. Yeah, this is a
you
very
have a strong. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, you sure have very strong faith in your deities.
Yeah, you know, if I wasn't meant to be here with you guys, I don't think I would have traveled to Grimoire in the first place. You know? And I don't really want to camp out in this, like, stranger's bedroom. No offense, Reina. She kind of, like, shrugs it off. And he's like, but, yeah, you know, as a cleric, it's my job to protect people a little bit. It's kind of part of what I do. So, yeah, I want to come with you guys.
All right. Well, fine. You can come with us, but we need to find out if we can even go outside first. So
Okay.
he just kind of like rubs his hands together and begins to cast Locate Creature. Obviously, specifically, the creature will be Marion.
Okay.
So, yep, Peter's going to take a seat and cast Locate Creature.
All right. You cast this spell, and it kind of creates almost like a ping in your brain. It's not really as much of a visual spell, so everyone else in the room can't really see what's going on with Peter, but Peter, you feel like sudden awareness of this like monstrous presence. And luckily it hits you kind of hard because you're not really expecting to feel like basically a ping of what is also equivalent to the strength of Marion, but it hits you for a second and then it kind of fades out, and you can tell that Marion is definitely not in the tent or in really the proximity of the tent that you're currently in. He's kind of making his way from the back of the carnival up to where you are. So he still has to make his way past like 3 other tents before he gets to the one that you're currently in.
Okay, but I can sense, I can sense that he is on his way towards our general direction.
Yes, the direction he's moving in is definitely towards your tent.
Okay. Also, I would just like to note that I'd like to think that during this spell, Peter is just like giving like a boop, 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 just very very soft.
He's booping.
He's like an echolocator, just like.
Nyx is like nodding, like, oh, I think he's getting something.
It does say vocal component, so there has to be a. Anyway, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. So yeah, I relay that information. Like, okay, we got some time. He's like 5 tenths down the rope. He's on his way over. We can.
Okay.
We have a little bit of time.
Okay.
I mean, that's good, I guess.
We gotta head towards the center tent because that's where we gotta pick up, or that's where what was the name again? The one that got dragged off.
The first person who got dragged off was Calliope, and then the second person who just got dragged off was Alaric, who was defending you against Marion.
Okay, so unfortunately, our new buddy Alaric, or as new as it gets, has also been dragged off. So we need to get around Marion, because Lord knows what's inside the main tent. I've already used up a spell already, just trying to find him. Lord knows how much more he's gonna take out of us.
Yeah.
So.
Oh god, yeah. Marion kind of speaks up for a second, and he's like, we could. Well, if we manage to make it to the tent before Marion gets here, then maybe we can avoid that encounter altogether. Unless you think it's better for us to eliminate that threat earlier on. But frankly, I want to help the people who are undoubtedly in danger.
As do I. So we're gonna have to get around Marion.
Yeah. Well, you said he's gotta make his way past a few tents, right?
Mm-hmm. He seems to be taking a sweet time, so we have a little bit.
We could just really try to book it. Like, he doesn't seem to be like the running type, if you know what I mean. He's kind of big and heavy. I think we're faster than him. Jez's noodle arms blowing in the wind.
Actually, Jezebel, you don't have you wouldn't happen to know entanglement or anything perhaps stronger, so in case he does unfortunately target us.
Well, Peter, let me pull up my app real quick that has all my spells in it.
And I will tell you.
I will tell you. I do have entanglement. And if we're considering this morning, then I can even have it prepared. So, I guess. I have entanglement, if that's what you want. If you want me to have entanglement.
Is there anything, what level spell is entanglement?
1. I lied.
1?
Hold on. It might have a...
Yeah, I was gonna say...
just 1.
Okay.
But it's it's a concentration, so...
Oh, okay, well, yeah, that's something. I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to list our options here. So we definitely agree that we need to book it. Yeah.
Well, I have... Ouch. I have a spell called Long Strider, which basically lets me add 10 feet to everybody's movement. Could do that.
Long story. That sounds like an innuendo we used to use. Anyways.
Oh my god. Peter, what did you even do in college? I don't understand.
Also, I'll tell you
went there to
all.
study.
I will tell you all about college once we get out of this damn carnival for the second time.
That's true. I don't think we have time right now, but I would really like to hear that story.
I also have invisibility.
Ooh, you also have invisibility. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm not really the brains of this party. I think that's pretty clear. But I do think that what we just did, like sleeping for 8 hours, that was real great. And I have this horrible feeling that it's the last time we'll be able to do that for a while. So
I'm glad you clarified that statement. Next.
Good point.
Yeah, I just think
remember the last time
we're sitting here and planning on using a lot of magic. And I'm also not super clear on how magic works, but from what I've learned of Marin using it, it runs out at a point, yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's why you just have more spells in there. You just keep launching spells up your sleeve, and hopefully you'll draw out one that'll work. But
I just want to make sure that...
Yeah, you make a good point, though.
In this short period we have to plan, that we're not using up all your magic before we even see what kind of danger we're up against.
Right.
Fair.
Because I'm strong, but like, kind of unreliably strong. It doesn't always work out for me.
The glass cannon, if you will.
Yeah, that's a really good way of describing what I do.
Alright. So,
Anyway.
you make a good point. We don't know what we're up against. We don't know when's the next time we're gonna get a full night's sleep again, and so
just run around.
I guess we can just book. I mean, we can just eyeball it, and by eyeball it, I mean just keep rolling perception checks, and hopefully we don't fail.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Nix, don't worry. It's probably a weird board thing.
Yeah, it's probably another thing you learned in college, huh?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about rolling. Anyways.
Thana kind of like suddenly like appears next to you, Peter, and she's like, "No, I'm sorry. I don't think you heard me. I mean, okay. Yeah, I think you should run, but gosh, I wish I could tell you to run away, because when I say it's getting bad out there, I don't just mean for the people who are getting dragged into the tent. God knows what goes on in that tent. But I mean, it's getting bad like I've never seen it get bad before.
Are they rioting out there?
No, there's nothing out there.
What?
I can't describe it because there's nothing to describe. It's just black out there.
Well, there's gotta be something out there. How else can... If there's nothing out there, then we're perfectly safe in here.
That's not really what I mean. Like, okay, how do I say this? So I saw Alaric get dragged into the tent, but that is the last thing I was able to see, because whatever that darkness is that was hovering at the top of the circus before, it's enveloped the whole thing.
Okay. I think I understand now.
This could be an issue.
This could definitely be an issue.
I have a strange question, and I promise it might be relevant. But Is there anywhere in the circus that you guys are not allowed to go? Somewhere that's guarded?
Dana looks over at Reyna, and Reyna kind of especially because everyone's not really making a move to go right now, and she's worried about Alaric.
Sorry, go on.
No, go. She thinks for a second, and she goes, well, the only place I can really imagine is we're not really allowed in the proprietor's office. It's kind of like located in this. So the way this tent is set up is that this trapdoor leads here, where Alaric and I typically spend most of our time when we're not performing or in the center arena having business meetings. But in the center arena towards the back, there is another trapdoor like this one, and it leads to what I have been told is the proprietor's office. And we're not allowed in there. If the proprietors wish to speak with someone, they are summoned to the office. But I have never been summoned there, neither has Alaric, so I've never been in there, and I can't even confirm that that door is what leads to that office. But that's the only place I can imagine.
I just had an idea, actually.
Yeah.
We still have
good ideas.
We still have the mirror, right?
Yeah. As far as we know, at least.
Marin kind of hesitates for a second before reaching in his bag and pulling it out to show you.
I think I have a hunch. I don't think this is probably gonna work, but perhaps this little baby can show us through that darkness. Unless any of you guys have very strong dispel magic, or perhaps a very bright light spell.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely won't hurt to try.
So yeah, I would like to. Could I very stealthily make my way out of the cellar and take a peek outside, and then with the mirror.
Marin's gonna hand you the mirror, and it's kind of interesting because when he hands it to you, it seems like he's almost kind of glad to be rid of it. And Nyx kind of stands up as you go to leave the chamber, and he goes, don't you think we should all come with you?
I mean, yeah, you're welcome to. I mean, if this works, then that might be our best chance to book it.
Yeah, we might as well. I don't see any benefit to sitting down here anymore.
No.
So Nyx, like, grabs his small satchel of stuff, and he also takes Marin's off of him, so now he's, like, dual-wielding packs. And Gumby kind of stands up slowly and picks up his own stuff, and he seems to, like, nod, and he seems to be kind of leaning on his staff a little bit, just a little more than usual, but he follows behind you guys just fine. Reyna also follows you guys out as you make your way out of the dressing room and across the tent's arena towards the entrance. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Okay, Nat. Give me like 2 seconds. I have to fix something.
Music.
Hopefully. If you have rhythm turned down kind of low, I suggest turning it up the slightest bit, because I'm not going to be playing music. I'm going to be playing sounds, and they might be a bit quiet.
Gotcha. Oh, spooky. It's gonna be one of those days. Is it October already?
Happy
Here we go.
Halloween!
They're in the spirit here. Ah.
Okay, so as you approach the exit, you feel almost. It's like you hit a wall. Not really a solid wall, but it's a resistance that pushes against you. As you kind of look at the door that you're making your way towards, you see that the only signs of light are the occasional blue flash that appears at the small gap between the bottom of the tent and the ground. They disappear moments later, and these haunting, howling sound echoes outside the walls. And for a moment, you can't tell if the tent is trapping you or protecting you from something else. Raina kind of steps in front of you, Peter, and she, after a moment's hesitation, pushes back the curtain that kind of conceals the entrance to the tent, driven by her fear for Alaric. And as she moves the curtain away, you feel this burst of wind break through that was just kind of waiting to come through, and it hits you like a brick, chilling you to the absolute bone and filling you with this sort of dread that sinks into the bottom of your stomach like a stone. There's a tension that hangs in the air outside that feels familiar and uncomfortable. Nyx turns to look at Marin and sees the color drain from his face as he recognizes it. It's the same tension that was hanging in the air the night that he was struck in the Evermore by the unnatural lightning that almost took his life. You try to glance around, but your eyes are met with an impenetrable darkness. You blink, expecting your eyes to focus and adjust, but they don't. Instead, you're staring into the gaping maw of a void. The only hint of light are faint crackles of blue lightning that appear at random, scattered through the darkness that seem to breathe with a life of its own. The only signs of life are sounds rattling through the black space and surrounding you, drawing you out in the open. Raina turns back and looks at you, fear and hesitation reflecting in her eyes. And to your right, way off in the distance, you're almost sure you can hear the faint sounds of heavy footsteps approaching.
Peter is almost paralyzed, but he lifts up the mirror and as best he can see, try to see through said mirror.
So you hold up the mirror, and unfortunately, nothing really changes.
What the
You're
fuck?
still staring into this blackness. It doesn't seem to be an illusion, and the nature of the mirror is to break illusions and to show things for either what they really are or what they would be. But this is nothing more than some kind of dark magic that is completely enveloped this circus.
What the fuck? Can it's not illusionary magic. It's God, Jesus. Where are we? So I just see like pure darkness, right?
Yeah, there's like it's your eyes like cannot adjust. It's not like when you stand in a pitch black room and after a while you can kind of make out the silhouettes of something. It's like the only thing that you can tell about this darkness is that for some reason it seems to be moving.
moving in the sense.
In the sense as if like the darkness isn't like stationary. It's difficult to kind of put into words, but when it's nighttime, the darkness just kind of exists. Like you can't like wave your arm and move the darkness.
Right.
But here the darkness feels like a physical entity.
Oh, and like it feels dense.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's not really like I said, there's a kind of resistance against it, so it's probably some kind of energy in the darkness caused by magic. So it feels like almost like a magical entity rather than just like someone controlling whether or not like the weather, basically. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It feels like you could manipulate the darkness if you wanted to manipulate the darkness, or if you were strong enough to manipulate the darkness, because it is being, as it was before when you first saw this like darkness, it was kind of a cloud above at the top of the center tent, just like being
developing.
funneled down into the tent.
Right.
And now that it has spread out, you can see that same, like, it's still being funneled towards somewhere. And it's still kind of existing with its own, like, magical animation. But because you're surrounded by it, it just, like, it's a lot harder to make out the actual movement of it just because it's so dark and you can't, like, perceive it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Basically, you can tell that it's still there because someone in the center tent is doing something to bring it there.
Right. No, go on.
So, you said we know it's going somewhere. Is this something that, like, with a second of concentration, you could get at least a general direction?
Well, from what you can kind of figure that the way that it is like being drawn in is definitely towards the center of the tent. Like that hasn't changed from when it was a small mass to now this large all-encompassing mass.
Okay.
It just has been like, basically before they were channeling a small bit of it, and now it is kind of getting out of hand. And instead of being able to keep it in that small area above the center arena, it has spread to kind of almost, it seems like whatever this is messing with the balance of whatever illusion magic they were using to kind of create this circus illusion. And so that like air of like dreaminess that you guys felt when you first entered the circus is completely dispersed.
Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. No?
Should we make a fucking run for it? I don't really know what to do here.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm assuming that our characters, or at least some of us, would remember at least like the general like direction where the center town, or because we can't really see it.
Yeah, you can't see it. So,
should we just all hold hands and run?
I would definitely like to hold one's hand. Yes. And he grabs Marin. He doesn't even like grab Marin's hand. He just like holds most of Marin, and then he kind of reaches out for you, Jez. But you hear Gunby kind of clear his throat and stumble in front of you guys a little bit and look out, and he goes, wow, that's Nyx's voice. Would this maybe help? And he casts light on his shield. And I believe when it is a cleric spell, it can actually pierce through magical darkness. Wow, I wish.
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh wait. God. I have to check on that spell again.
Sorry, Orc Pub is not being friendly to me right now. Give me 1 second. Stop, we're not sponsored by Tea&D Beyond. You can't give them free ad revenue.
I think I could do whatever I want, Emily.
Well, I was gonna say, I also have Fairy... I forgot I had Fairy Fire, because it's a first level spell.
Oh, there you go. Here, let me see real quick just to double check the function of light.
I'm
I don't
not
like
a
these,
fan
like,
of
snarling
these
sounds.
growls. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be 100%. I thought it was you at first.
Me?
No, Detroit.
Oh, you thought it was Detroit?
Because I was like, oh, it sounds kind of like tea slurping, and then I was like, wait, what? This is too consistent.
I believe that light actually can penetrate through
Magical darkness.
Magical darkness, yeah. So
Awesome.
he has now what is essentially a beacon as a shield.
This giant spotlight of a shield.
And yeah, you see just like a trail of light kind of extend 20 feet ahead of you. So you have a general like radius. Wait, sheds in a 20-foot radius. Okay, so it's kind of surrounding you guys.
Okay, whew.
But yeah, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's a lot better." Yeah.
Now, we should probably book it now because
Yeah,
Peter's kind of like nervously like looking around now, and he's like glowing in this.
Yeah, so much for stealth.
Oh yeah, I didn't really think about that. I just kind of wanted to be able to see because I'm a human and I can't see for shit.
I understand it.
Yeah, you get me.
It's okay, I'm a halfling. I can't see in the dark either.
Yeah, wow. Most
I'm
of us
short
are really...
too. See, I got the short end of the stick here, unlike you. I don't want to hear about you humans.
Was that a joke right now, Peter?
Let's go.
He tells jokes to conceal his fear.
Yep.
Yeah, let's fucking go. You guys start kind of booking it in the general direction of where you remember. So the tent that you were in, if we go back to story refs and look at the old ass map that's kind of chilling in here, the tent that you were in is the one that is the one marked the Blades of Blood and Wind. So it's like right, if you just kind of, it's right in the front of the entrance. So if you run straight, kind of in the direction towards not where you came from, but definitely the opposite direction from that, you should at least get in the vicinity of the center tent.
Right, it's a straight shot. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go. Yeah, let's just
Alright,
go. Let's just...
so you guys are running.
You
guys start running.
All together.
Yeah. Alright, so you are daisy chaining and running towards the source. It's kind of difficult because one, you don't really see where you're going at a great distance, so you're trying not to collide because you can hear the sounds and feel the presence of other things in this darkness with you, and you have no fucking clue what direction it's coming from or where, like, or what is causing it. You can vaguely remember that when you entered the circus, despite the fact that it wasn't quite the perfect illusion that you first encountered it as, there still seemed to be like a few stray patrons wandering around, and you get the feeling that maybe they weren't just patrons, as this definitely isn't a normal circus. It's not a business. So as you run, it's also difficult for Gunby, who is not really keeping great pace with the rest of you, and you guys have to keep pace with Gunby because he's your only source of light right now. Unless, Peter, you want to cast Fairy Fire, but I assume you'd want to hold on to that first level spell slot for when you really need it.
Yeah, just in case.
So after about, it feels like forever, honestly. I'm going to try something else here. After what feels like forever, you guys start to slow down a bit as Gunby becomes a little disoriented. He's like, "Oh, can someone else take the shield and lead? Because I really don't think I'm the right person to be doing this right now."
Yeah, sure. Here, buddy, here.
All right, he hands it off to you, Peter. The shield is not like a massive shield, so it's pretty easy for you to
Yeah, I was about to
hold
say.
up. It's not like one of those ones that's like half the length of his body. It's just kind of a round, basic shield that
Right.
he used for like deflecting arrows or other
I was so
things.
happy to be like this like short turtle.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not something that you have to like hold in front of you like a SWAT team or anything like that.
No! To a tent!
Yeah. As you kind of pause for a second and make this exchange, you hear I really hope prepare to potentially turn this down because I don't know how loud this is going to be for you because it's a different bot that I haven't used before.
Oh, perfect. Time to get my ears blown.
You hear this
Oh, I can't wait to get
sound.
spooked. What the fuck? Where's this coming from? No, I know that. Jezebel Incantor.
Yes. The bot, Peter. You guys hear this sound this is the first time you've heard a sound that you can definitely tell the direction it's coming from.
That's really...
As you turn and kind of look back in the direction of where you were running, you see a bright scarlet cloak and the pale figure of Cecilia kind of standing there in the beam of Gunby's light. It's because of how harsh the light is on her, she seems like, at first, if it weren't for the redness of her cloak, it would be like a ghost.
Oh, now we have footsteps too. Sorry.
Gumby kind of like pokes his head around the party when he hears and notices that it's Cecilia, and he kind of looks at you guys for a second, and then he walks up to her, and he kind of bends down to her level to seemingly say something to her. She is about, I would say, only like 5 feet ahead of you. It is honestly kind of shocking that she suddenly appeared because your ray of light is generally about like 10 feet around you completely. So she seemingly kind of appeared out of nowhere. And as he bends down, he's kind of like, "Hey, Cecilia, are you okay? Are you lost?" And you see her look up, and her face, for the instant that you see it, almost looks like some of the flesh has rotted away a bit. And her eyes are even more like clouded than you've ever seen them before. and she reaches up to Gunby, and you hear her mutter, "To grandmother's house we go." And all of a sudden, this portal opens up underneath them, and she drags him down and disappears into it. And you're left with this cloud of dust where Gunby and her were just standing, and this smoke kind of makes its way towards you and fills your nostrils with this acrid, burnt stench. And you hear Marin start coughing. And as he starts coughing, suddenly, you hear a heavy footstep right behind you. And as you turn around, you Peter, you turn and you have the shield out in front of you, and it shines a beaming light directly into Marion's face.
Shit!
Just wanna retcon something real quick.
Yeah?
As soon as crap. What's
Cecilia?
Thank you. As soon as she appeared, Jez is just hitting. I think the next person in line is, I think that's who they have. Their hand is Nyx.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like. But with Peter's declaration, I guess we turn around.
And he is smiling that big creepy smile, and you're noticing now he definitely took some kind of beating in between the last time you saw him and right now. So he has just chunks of his face are completely missing.
Nice.
The only parts of his face that are still kind of assembled are his smile, and leading up the left side of his face, he has a single eye. The tip of his left ear is broken off, and the rest of his body is just kind of a shambling mess of rags hanging off of this puppet figure. And as he kind of looks down at you, Peter, he doesn't seem to make a move to be hostile, as he says, "The proprietors will see you now." And he kind of extends a hand towards a direction, and he seems to be guiding you towards the center arena. And as you turn to kind of look in that direction, you see the dark figure and hear a low snarling noise as Bear, Cecilia's dog, emerges from the shadows, except he is fully a dire wolf.
Bear, you.
Is Bear being... Sorry,
Bear...
I'm eating an apple. Is Bear being menacing towards us, or is it...
Yeah. He's being menacing, but he's not he's not stalking to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically there to make sure that you go where Marion is pointing.
Like an if we run, you will be attacked.
Yeah, you will have a dire wolf attacking.
Okay, cool.
What the fuck do we do, Peter?
I think
I like to imagine when they enter, the light from the shield dies out because of God knows wherever Gumby went.
Yeah.
And I kind of want that. I don't know how to explain that body language wise, but that kind of just when he sees that light goes out, that realization that crap, we just lost Gumby, and that just really sank in his stomach. And he's just when he asks what do we do, Peter? And I'm just
I think we just go. It's certainly not great, but what other choice do we have?
Yeah, I think Jez is right. Yeah, I honestly, even with whatever waits for us in there, it's where Calliope got dragged off to, and it's where Alaric got dragged off to, and maybe there's a chance that that Gunby isn't gone, and he's there as well. So I think our best bet, honestly, is to go to the tent because I don't know about you guys, but I don't really care about anything else happening in this circus except what's happening in that tent.
Peter just kind of like chuckles nervously and like gulps. Just like, well, let's give him a show then, right?
Oh god, yeah. Nyx kind of lights up his arm because he can use fire on his arm at will. And so he starts using his arm as sort of a really poor torch. So whereas Gunby's spell was emitting like a nice radius of like 10 feet of light around you guys to guide you, Nyx's arm only illuminates like the party and then the faint bit of space in front of you, like maybe 2 or 3 feet. So your only guide is Marion heavily walking behind you as you make your way to the center tent.
All right, let's just see what they got for us.
All right.
Not about this. Definitely not about this.
Guys, let me just say, when I was picking out this ambiance, it gave me anxiety to listen to it to make sure it was good for the.
And I have anxiety right now. All right, like.
Okay, so.
This is not something that I would listen to at this volume.
You make your way after about like 10 minutes of walking.
Oh boy.
And you see Nyx kind of like stops for a moment as his arm lights up the entrance to the center arena that you have entered once before. Jez, you have not.
Yep.
So this is the first time you've seen it. It's
so
just
we're at the center tent now.
Yeah.
And it looks like all the other tents, the black and white stripe and.
It is black and white striped. The only difference that really marks it as any different than the other tents is this one has its own like. Oh, who did we lose? Oh, Marv. The entrance of this is marked with like a smaller version of the Iron Gate kind of entrance.
Oh.
And so at the top in exquisite. Can you read Elvish?
Yes, I can.
You see that written in Elvish, in wrought iron is just the word the arena.
Okay, cool. Okay. I guess we're doing that.
Yeah. So.
Hey, Peter. I don't know. Did you? Sorry, this is just a little bit tangent. But did you see? I posted in Story Refs. I don't know if you listened to the last episode with Jezebel's dream sequence, but there was a prophecy thing.
I'm reading it. Let's see.
Yeah. I could get a second head on that.
Guards and iron gates. Man with a broken face. Way out. Drenched in red. To save the ones who have been dead. Well, that sounds ominous.
Yeah, guys. Keep that in the back of your brain box for me. If you can help me with that, that'd be great. Anyway, I guess here we are.
We're in this big arena.
Marion walks in front of you and peels back the curtain. You know how tents work? They have like a flap.
Yeah.
He pulls that back and ties it off and just kind of gestures inward
Mm-hmm.
and like slowly turns his head to look towards you. So he's staring at you with the one remaining eye he has left and that never wavering smile. And you look into the arena, but it's like the same amount of darkness is on the inside, so you can't see anything past the entrance.
Oh, great.
You make a perception check for me. Like anyone can.
Okay, I got it.
Gotcha.
Hmm. Wow. Math.
20?
16.
Perfect. Everyone rolled really well. Nick's rolled a 19 plus whatever his perception modifier is.
What do I see in this darkness?
What do we
He
see?
rolled a 20. Let me see if Maren notices it. Yeah, Maren. So as you're kind of entering, you're not quite in it because you take a step towards the gate and one of those bolts of lightning jumps out and crackles down the iron gate, and you see as just like you hear kind of a rumbling sound, and you watch as you look up and see just like blue lightning from every direction climbing up the arc of the tent, and then it disappears in the small opening at the center and gets like sucked down inside the tent. And as you look forward in the tent, you see a flash of blue, but it's so blinding that when it happens, you like by the time it's gone, there's like nothing in the room you can process. Like you see the light for a split second, and you see it hit something in the center of the arena,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's gone, and it's black again.
Crud. Okay, so we didn't. Hold on, I might have.
Peter, with a 20, you and Nyx, before your vision kind of readjusts, you see as the lightning descends to the ground what seems to be like a large container of some kind. Like it looks like it didn't hit the ground, it went into something.
Okay.
Yeah, so like instead of impacting the ground in the arena, it didn't like the explosion wasn't caused by impact of lightning to ground. It was caused because it was basically forced into something and exploded.
I can't, but because I'm assuming because of the darkness, I could not see what exactly that something was.
Yeah, no, it's just like the benefit of that of seeing that is that you know that it's being called in there. It's not just like
Sporadic, yeah.
yeah, it didn't just like strike the tent. Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right. Okay.
Someone is controlling it and manipulating it.
Right. Probably the proprietors. I guess.
Okay. I guess we should go in. He says this, Nick says this, but he like kind of makes no move to go in. Before looking at like the rest of the party and realizing that he's like the biggest one out of everyone. Jez? Oh, did I cut out? How tall is Jez?
Like, let me double check. I think 5'2".
Okay, short. And
They're
Peter's small.
5'1".
And Maren is
Ooh,
definitely
5'1".
smaller than Nyx. Oof, okay, yeah. So Nyx is the largest of the party, and he's like, oh, god damn it. Alright, guys, just, like, I trust you to hold your own, but, stay behind me as much as you can.
Are Are Marion or the direwolf making any move towards us? They're just kind of hanging out.
Marion is just
watching us struggle.
Like, yeah, he's basically like holding out his arm as you walk through the gate and into the entrance, and the direwolf has sat down and is basically like acting as a guard dog.
Big dog. Okay.
Real quick. We are going to. We're going to enter this tent, but real quick, Wiz has just appeared, so welcome Marin. I will be playing Marin for the rest of this session.
Marin, I'm scared.
Me too. I don't know what's happening.
A lot of stuff went down. I will, someone, if you could, mute your mic while you type, but give Marin, like, a brief summary in the Discord chat.
Please.
Marin, you are currently being, like, held in one arm, not, like, held off the ground, but, like, held to Nyx's side, and you're covered in your big, heavy coat. Like, your head is out, but you are being comforted by said big, heavy coat. Okay. And everyone is about to enter the center arena of the tent after navigating magical darkness that has covered the entire circus.
Okay.
Marion has told the rest of the party that the proprietors wish to see you. So, you guys pass through the entrance of the tent, and suddenly, like, the flap just closes behind you.
Oh, that's a great sign.
If you turn around, it's so dark that, like, even though you just came from the outside, unless you placed your best bet and just ran through the wall, you can't see where the entrance is closed off. Unlike in Reyna and Alaric's tent, this tent seems to be almost like built to the ground, so there's no light leaking in from outside. As you kind of take in your surroundings, what kind of course of action do you exactly want to use?
So we're just in
navigate.
So we're just in the arena right now, right? In this big open.
Yeah. So the way that this the center tent works, as opposed to every other tent, is that the entrance actually starts you at the top of kind of what is like the grandstand.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're standing essentially at the top of a row of seats, and then the seats descend downwards, and the actual like arena is almost like a pit that has been dug out underneath the center tent.
Right.
So there are these grandstands, and then there's like a sheer wall that is about 10 feet tall that drops into the arena below. And that's where like the center of the tent is.
Right. And from where we can see, or if I look around, I don't see anyone else at the moment besides our current party, our current squad.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Peter is going to Peter would like to make his way towards the arena and like take a further look inside as much as he can in this darkness.
Okay, make a survival check with disadvantage.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It begins. This is where we die, guys. Okay.
I hope you have a backup character.
Oh, I do. I have plenty. 8.
Okay. Peter, you take a few steps forward, blindly stumbling into the darkness, because Nyx is... Once you've, like, walked away from Nyx, there's no perception of what's in front of you. So you take a step forward and kind of miss the step, because you didn't realize that the stairs started pretty much immediately after you enter, and you stumble down a flight of stairs, falling a little bit head over heels, and you take...
Ow.
Hold on, I rolled the wrong dice.
So I know,
Wow,
guys.
okay, you take 4 points of fall damage.
Kill you now.
You end up, by the time you're finished your tumble, you end up kind of smacking your head against one of the, the center handrails that go down a set of
Oh,
stairs
yeah,
in a grandstand. Yeah, you like whacked your head on one of those as you tumble, and you finally come to a stop, and you didn't critical fail, so I will not do that actually.
You won't eliminate me.
No, I
You
wasn't.
won't straight eliminate me from this game right now.
I wasn't going to kill you. I was going to do something else, but it won't happen because you didn't crit fail.
Say no more.
Yeah. And the rest of the party, you just hear Peter, like, 1 second he's there, and then a second you hear, like, ah, shit! And then he, just, like, the sound of, like, instruments kind of jangling as Peter tumbles down the stairs.
I'm good.
And you hear, I'm good, faintly, like, what seems to only be, like, 5 feet down from you. You can't see your party. Well, you can see Nyx's arm from where you're at, Peter, but the rest of the party cannot see you.
Am I any closer towards the arena?
You're 5 feet closer towards
5 feet
the arena, but it's about like think about how many. This isn't like obviously football stadium sized or anything like that. But think about like an auditorium at a school.
Oh man, it's like college all over.
Yeah, it's very much like a lecture hall style thing, except it goes in a full circle around the edge. So that's about how many stairs are between you and the, like, just sheer wall that drops into the arena.
Right, okay.
Plus there's, like, not, like, bars, but, like, a safety rail on the wall so that children can't vault over it and get in the center arena or anything like that.
Well, I have to say, if a kid wanted to get over that safety rail and get into the arena, it's not gonna stop them.
Yeah, but you know, it's health codes. It's up to they're up to scale of their health codes. Kind of.
Safety
Not
regulations.
really,
Yeah,
but kind of.
At least safety-wise, physically. Anyway, Peter, you sit up and you are disoriented from your fall. You're kind of sitting on a stair, and other than the faint glow from Nyx's arms, you have no real directional awareness. You can obviously tell that the rail next to you goes down more, so if you keep going down, you'll hit the arena.
This is why we use the railings, guys. This is why we use the railings.
Peter, just stay there. We're gonna try to come to you without falling.
Is Nyx carrying me?
No, you're just tucked against his side, so, like, he has his arm around Marin, but, like, Marin's on his own 2 feet.
It's like propping you
Okay.
up.
He's cradling you in his arms.
Now I understand. Okay, I'm just gonna, like, pat him on the, on the arm.
He lets you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, Wiz, if you don't have rhythm turned up, I recommend turning him up a little bit, just because I'm using ambiance instead of music.
Okay, yeah, now I can hear it.
Anyway, I guess we're slowly going down the stairs.
Yeah, everyone
I'm doing that shuffle motion.
make a survival check.
Yeah, so we don't all roll down these stairs.
Well, guys, guess it's time for me to pull up a new character sheet.
You are not going to die on the staircase to the arena.
Even if I crit fail?
Oh, did you crit fail?
I did crit fail!
Yes.
Oh no, okay. Well, I rolled a 5 for Nick, so... What did Marin roll?
Hold on. I need to grab my dice.
Roll it with disadvantage, by the way.
Jesus fucking. Well, it doesn't. Oh, well, you know, the second one was a nat 20, but the first one was a 3.
A shame. So, Nyx doesn't like... Wow, Nyx rolled the best out of everyone.
We're all taking a tumble today.
Nyx doesn't exactly fall, but he can't really navigate while holding an arm up in the air, so he has to sacrifice the light that he's been using in order to safely navigate this way. So you are now plummeted back into complete darkness. Peter, you just see a light go out, and now you have no idea where
Now I'm panicking, and then I just hear other people tumbling. I'm just like, oh, Jesus.
You hear, like, scratching from, like, Nyx's feet as he slowly shuffles. You hear him trip a little, and, like, shit, fuck, oh god. But he manages to make it without completely, like, wiping out. Although, when he gets to you, he trips over you and falls. Oh god, Peter, I'm so sorry.
Listen, if this is your way, if this is your guys' way of trying to make me feel better,
No, I'm so sorry. Here, wait, and he lights his arm. You. Marin, you feel Nyx kind of disappear. Like, at first, he was trying to reach out for you. He was trying to reach out for you with his tail. But that, like, quickly disappears as he starts to stumble. And you somehow manage to step off to the side when the light disappears, and you fall into a set of chairs that are waiting for audience members to fill them. So you kind of just fall off to the side and realize that you have lost track of where the staircase is. Jez. The rest of your party walks off ahead of you, and as you're about to take a step down the stair, you hear a voice right over your ear go, pick a card.
What?
And you jump and send your, what do you use to cast spells? A staff?
Yeah, it just has a staff, quarterstaff.
Your staff flies out of your hand when you jump and tumbles down the stair, and you have no idea where.
It's okay, I guess.
As you turn to react, you're staring directly in the large rabbit face of Dougal.
I'm gonna scream, not me actually, but Jez's. I don't want to be that dorm person. But...
Yeah,
So congratulations, guys.
Jez, you scream, and he holds up a black card, and turns it towards you, and hold on, I have to do a thing.
Hey, I didn't even get to pick my card! Rude.
Hold on, I need to get a random card pick.
Oh.
Please include all of these things. Draw a card. Okay. Let's see. Nope, not that one. Where's of Diamonds? There it is. Ooh hoo hoo hoo. He hands the card to you, Jez. And you stare down at a Jack of Diamonds.
What does that mean?
As you look at this card, a kind of red magic leeches out from the card, and then you a spotlight appears over you specifically, Jez, and you are now staring in the face of an assassin who takes a swipe at you immediately. And I'm going to need... This is a one-on-one combat thing, so instead of doing our initiative rolls, we're gonna do turn taking again.
Okay. Let me see what other weapons I have, because that was my main weapon. Oh, I guess I have a scimitar. Like, that's a thing, I guess. And then I still have my talisman, so there's that.
So before we do this,
Yep.
we're going to cut to the rest of the party. You hear Jez scream, and then a spotlight from behind you shines back, like, over your shoulders. Marin, you look up from where you are, like, gathering yourself from falling into a chair, and a few feet away from you, Jez is staring into the face of a cloaked figure who is, like, about to come at them with a knife.
A knife.
No! Wait, so...
You said this is one-on-one?
Yeah.
It's
So
one-on-one for now, but
Okay.
if other people want to engage and help Jez, then we'll do an initiative thing.
Yeah, I'd like to help Jez.
Okay, does anyone else want to help Jez? Does everyone want to help Jez?
A
Right.
knife.
Okay. Detroit, is Peter joining? Is Peter gonna run up and help Jez? Okay, so everyone is gonna run and help Jez when we see this spotlight appear. And now we're gonna roll initiative.
I have a quick question, actually.
Yes.
I'm not gonna roll with that dice. Jail. What happens to Dougal? Like, is it just he disappear?
When he handed you the card, he, like, what appeared to be, like, you know, trapeze harnesses that will lift you up in the air?
Oh, yeah.
Like one of those.
Okay.
He just, like, he took off.
He zoomed.
And, like, you heard him kind of giggle in the darkness as he handed you this card.
Bitch.
Alright, everyone roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Well, that was somewhat better. Alright.
Alright.
Yeah, so Marin apparently is still a little bit shaken up. Not too quick on his feet.
Dice roll.
Everyone drop your initiative rolls in the chat so that I can keep track of them. And also, announce them, obviously, so that the stream knows who's going when.
I got a 12!
I
11.
got 20.
What did Mary get?
11?
Okay, and Nick's got a 14. And also, let me roll for the thing.
Oh, joy.
Sting.
Whoops, I missed it.
Sting.
He also rolled a 14. Fuck you, guy! What is... Nyx has a +2 initiative bonus, and the assassin has a +3, so the assassin goes before Nyx. Good job. Alrighty. There we go. I'll just put that in there. Alrighty, so first up is Peter. What are you going to do to assist Jez?
Well,
I'm gonna
Gonna
mute
just-
myself. Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself real quick to get our whiteboard, but I'm still here.
no worries. I'm gonna stab that other stabby guy. And I don't like you stab my friends. I'm gonna stab you instead. So, crap, I gotta pull up something real quick. Because when I run up and attack him, well, first I gotta actually attack him, I think. Check this. I gotta pull up Xanathars real quick.
Okay. So are you running up and attacking him with, like, a melee weapon, like a dagger?
Yeah, with my rapier.
Oh, with your rapier, okay.
And then, oh yeah, psychic blades. Okay. You hit a creature. Okay, so let me first hit. This is gonna be. Oh, I love that sound. That good sound. 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, cool. And so that'll be 1d plus 5 plus 3 is 8 plus psychic damage, which is going to be 2d6. 8 plus 3, that's 11. Plus another 3, that's 14. So 14 damage.
14 damage? Okay,
Yes.
so...
I'm going to run up and stab my psychic blades using up one of my bardic inspiration die. But that's okay. And yep, causing 14 whole psychic damage.
Alright. Math. There we go. Okay. Peter, as you run up and swipe at him with your blade, you notice that when he turns to acknowledge you, that there's like no human face there. And Jez, you noticed it obviously when he appeared in front of you. It's just kind of like two slightly glowing white eyes, and the rest of him is completely composed of just like a dark, almost like smoke-like entity.
Ooh,
But you still are able to do normal physical damage to it. So you whip at him and do 14 points of damage. And now it is its turn. Peter, because you swiped at it, it is going to turn to you, and then turn back to Jez and just attack Jez. It is going to
Rude.
attack, pull out, reach on its back and pull out, not on its back, but like from its sides, and dual, not dual, why am I, language, okay. He pulls out a short sword and takes a swipe at you, Jez. Let me roll a dice. Oh, that was bad.
I think I've seen this. The scene reminds me of a book I read about a halfling fighting some ghostly figures. Sword.
10.
10?
No,
Yeah.
the magic ring involved too. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
That's a miss. That's a miss.
Okay.
Oh.
He swipes at you and you shake out of your shock for a second and step backwards just out of the range of his things. You kind of teeter for a second, realizing that there's a stair right behind you. But then he lunges again and tries to hit you one more time. That is a 17.
Well, fuck.
Alright, so that one hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
This time, you're kind of glancing over your shoulder to make sure you fall down the stairs, and you feel a sharp slash hit you across the side, and you are going to take
Okay.
3,
Me too, team.
13 points of slashing damage.
13?
Piercing damage, yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
Oh, whoops. That's wrong.
plus what? Oh, okay.
What?
Rip
No.
Jez.
Uh-oh.
This
I'm
is
gonna
how we
cut that
die.
I'm gonna cut that in half because there's no way.
Well, this is how we die.
That's how we die.
Teetering at the
Because
top
in
of
nav
some
school.
stairs.
Okay, you also take... God. Yeah, okay, so you take 7 points of poison damage on top of that, and you need to make a saving throw.
What kind of saving?
A constitution saving throw.
Hold on, let me do math real quick.
Yeah.
Minus 7, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know we were fighting little
And
ring
a
wraiths.
constitution... saving throw? So that is... a... plus... 3 plus... okay. I think I'll be okay. 21.
21. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, you save. You
Nice.
save. All right, so you are not poisoned.
That's
Good to know.
You do take the poison damage, but you're not continuous, so don't worry about it.
I'm worrying about it, but I'll worry about it less.
All right, and that's the end of his turn. So it is now Nyx's turn. Great. Okay. Nyx is gonna see him stab you, Jez, and run up and be like, "Hey, get away from him!" I hate Nyx so much. That's a 12, and that does not hit his armor class. So he takes a swipe at the assassin. The assassin easily like turns and brushes off his hand. But then Nyx like lunges again and goes to attack one more time. Please, my son, you fucking useless. Nope. When the assassin moves, Nyx kind of loses balance and he trips over the stair. Because he was trying to run up so fast, but he still couldn't see the staircase. So he trips and kind of lands on the ground next to the assassin and misses on his second attack. So Nyx has done nothing, and we're moving on. It is Jez's turn. Yep, Jez's turn.
Still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So give me a hot minute. I don't have my staff, so there's that.
You could always run to get it.
Yeah, and risk falling over something else. I think
you also have no idea where it is.
Exactly. I have. You said it took normal damage. So I guess I'm gonna cast one of my cantrips, since and cast Thorn Whip at it, because I can use that several times. Just kind of snap at it and see if that'll dispel it.
Oh, you're using Dispel Magic?
No. Like I'm gonna. I have a Thorn Whip. I have Thorn Whip, so I'm gonna just.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of. You said it was smoke adjacent.
Gotcha. Okay, so. What do I have to make a saving throw? Or do you make an attack?
I'm making an attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah, melee spell attack against the target.
Alrighty, go for it.
Oh, nice! That's. Hold on, math. 19 plus 6 is 25.
25. Yeah, you hit.
Nice. 1d. Is it large or smaller than large?
It's smaller than large.
Okay.
It's a humanoid.
Okay. Actually, I don't think I want to do that anyway. Never mind.
Okay.
I don't want to pull it closer to me. It's already pretty close to me. If it gets any closer to me, it's going to be kissing me, and I'm not about that. Alright. 1.
Don't smooch the enemy.
And it's 2d6. That's not bad. That's a 6. 6 points of damage. I think I'm doing this right. I can never remember how to do damage. It's 6 points of damage. We're gonna go with that.
6 points of damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 6 piercing damage.
Alrighty. Math. Alrighty. It is Marin's turn.
Happy birthday, Marin.
Okay. Woof. Okay, have I been able to see his, like, face or features, like, in any capacity yet? Like, hands?
Hands.
That have...
He's wearing black gloves, so, it's hard to tell, like, what he is or anything, really, but, like, you can make a...
Does he look alive? Can I make a perception check to make sure he's alive? like a living being.
Sure. I mean, well, okay. You can make a perception check if you want to see if you notice from when he was attacking the rest of your party what he looks like. But
All
you're
I
not
wanna-
gonna be able to tell if he's like not alive from
All I
just
wanna-
looking at him.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't like a construct. Like,
He's not like Marion.
okay. Then I'm gonna cast Mind Spike on him. I
Okay.
know.
Do I have to make a saving
Wow.
throw?
Yes, please make a wisdom saving throw.
Alrighty, let's see what was in there for assassin. It's a bad stat. Oh, but I rolled a 16.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
I wish I would get those rolls when I was playing as Nyx and not the enemy.
So he saves, but he still takes 3d8.
That's still a good amount of damage.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent amount of damage.
Does Mind Spike frighten you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm on it. If he stop, Teely, stop stealing my dice. Had he failed, I would have known where he is. And he couldn't have been hidden from me. That's 9 points of psychic damage.
9 points, okay.
Oh wait,
Oop.
half as much as that. So
Okay, that's 5 points. Really, guys, I really can't do math. Okay, there we go. Alright, top of the order again. It's Peter's turn.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Spells. You know what? I'm just gonna stab it again.
Alrighty. Stab
Okay.
away.
Yeah, stab away. Let's see here. Come on. Oh, okay. Nat 20.
Okay.
But this time I won't use Psychic Blades, so that's just gonna be 2 regular D8s.
Okay.
Wait, when you crit, do I add the attack bonus or the damage bonus twice? Or do I only roll the
no,
damage dice
you
twice?
just double the
No,
dice.
you just double the dice.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 2. Okay, 6, 2 plus 6, 8 plus 5, 13. So 13 damage total.
13. Alright, good job.
Yep. Lunging forward.
Alright, you lunge forward and you bury your blade in this assassin and you see it doesn't really like physically react to you attacking it, but it is definitely like it almost seems to be flickering. And it lunges for Jez again.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Not a fan. Definitely not a fan.
15?
Yeah. If that was an
Okay.
attack roll against me, yeah, you bet.
Yes. Okay. Oh, I rolled the wrong dice. I don't want to roll a d20 for damage.
Please don't. Save me. Please don't.
Oh my god, okay.
I'm not liking the sound of this, let me
So
tell ya.
you take 8 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm. And?
And then 13 points of poison damage, and I need you to make a constitution save. I want to make sure I'm doing that math right. I am. Okay.
8.
8. All right. That does not save.
I figured.
So you are now poisoned.
You are now
Which-
poisoned.
means
Guys, you're gonna lose both of your almost healers.
Please no. I'm scared. I don't like darkness. I don't like freaking. I'm never going to the circus again.
We die like
yeah,
men.
okay.
I think Mom was right. I should have stayed in school. She doesn't. She doesn't know I left school. I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah, she still thinks you're in school. All right, it's Nyx's turn. If Jez, hopefully you're still up.
Oh, I'm living. Me and my
13.
15 health points.
Nyx tries to grab at the assassin's foot as he scrambles upwards to his feet, and the assassin just steps out of the way. Nyx goes a fucking again and does not hit. He seems to fucking whiff it 4 times, and then he kind of shakes his head. He's like, "God damn it! I'm gonna." And he just like, you see Jez for a moment, like, as you look over at him and how frustrated he is, you see for a moment something flash across his vision that is a little completely unfamiliar to anything you've ever seen in Nyx's expression. And it is now Jez's turn.
Well, we're looking a little worse for wear. Actually, we're looking a lot worse for wear. And we're not gonna. Hold on, my phone turned off. Something. I just need the stats for the scimitars. Actually, I lied. What if I?
I also
What if I just
don't.
run away? What if I
You
just
can do.
run
You can do
away?
that, Jez.
Ah.
You can disengage. It will take an attack of opportunity on you, but it will not be a big attack.
I just want to run away, but I don't want to die. So, I'm gonna cast Frostbite on it, which is also a cantrip, and all I have to do. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Alrighty, I
Thank
will
you.
make a Constitution saving throw.
Thanks. Please fail it.
I'm trying to look at Constitution. Okay, I'll try my best.
Fail, fail, fail.
Yeah, I rolled a 2, so that's a fail.
Good.
No matter what amount.
No, wait. 2d6 damage.
2d6. Okay.
7 points of cold damage, and you have disadvantage on the next weapon attack you make.
Alrighty. 7 points you said of cold damage?
7.
Alrighty. Math. Let's go.
Woo.
Alright.
We're living.
Wow. Whiteboards make a whole world of difference when you're DMing a fight. Okay. It is now Marin's turn.
Alright. Marin's going to see his spell not work as much as he wanted. Take a big breath, and about how far away?
I would say the... Oh, sorry, the assassin? Is that what you're asking?
Mm-hmm.
It's about 10 feet in front of you.
Yeah, okay. Marin's gonna run up and try to grab his, like, the point where, like, the shoulder meets his neck from behind.
Okay.
And cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
But I need to see if I can grab
So-
him.
Are you making an attack roll or am I making a save?
I'm making it an attack. I
Okay.
make a spell attack. That was a natural 20!
Alrighty. Hit. So go ahead and double your damage dice.
Oh yeah.
I'm so proud of my
Okay,
party
okay,
members,
okay.
the ones who can
2d8.
actually crit.
Me too. Unlike me,
Yeah.
can't hit shit.
Oh, that wasn't a bad roll either.
Whiz.
So 22 total.
22 total.
Yeah.
Marin, you
11 doubled.
are gripping onto the back of his neck, and you unleash this like electric shock completely through this figure, and you tense for a second, and then it disappears beneath your grasp, and you kind of fall a little, but not. You just kind of stumble forward, and Jez puts up their hands to stop you from falling and pushing them down the stairs.
Oh, no. Just like, if the thing is gone, it's friggin' hugging Marin. Congratulations, we're in this. I'm like, doing a little bit of stress crying, and just, you're so good, thank you so much.
I don't know what you just said. And then hugs them.
Jez, as soon as you
Feeling
embrace
fucking
Marin and this thing disappears, you feel like a slight burning sensation in your hand, and the card that you've kind of been holding this whole time, just like goes up in smoke, and disappears. And as soon as like the impact of you hugging Marin is made, the spotlight goes out.
Okay.
And you're back in total darkness.
So I guess Jez pulls back just a little bit, and it's just like, guys, don't choose a card from the weird rabbit guy. Don't do it. This is a bad choice. You'll get attacked.
As you say this, Jez, you hear the sound of a spotlight turning on again, which are lit by magic, not by electricity. And you turn to the side and you see Dougal again standing on a platform, kind of like one of the trapeze platforms. And oh man, thank you for telling me. You see him standing on one of the trapeze platforms, and he's kind of rocking his head back and forth, so his ears are flopping back and forth. Oh, God.
Jez, if they're seeing this, holds up like their necklace talisman thing that they're what is it called? Druid focus. There we go. Kind of, you know that thing from the God, I can't even remember what the movie's called, but it's like the thing where they're like, the power of Christ compels you. Like that kind of.
Oh, The Exorcist.
Yeah, The Exorcist.
Thank you. I was like, all I was coming up with, the thing with the Georgetown steps. Yeah, but it's kind of like that motion is like, we don't want your cards. Go away.
Oh, come now.
No.
You don't want to play with me anymore.
I didn't want to play with you in the first place.
But I just picked the best card, and he throws it. And everyone make a dexterity check real quick.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I can do it. I'm really good at that. That's fine. Okay, please, God, don't fail me now.
Alright, dexterity.
Oh, another nat 20. Let's go. Come at me. If you want to add modifiers, that's a 20.
Perfect. Unless anyone else crit? No? No one?
No.
Alright, Peter, you, the card flies towards you and you snap it out of the air, and as you look at it...
Again, oh, I just snap it out of the air?
Like, you reach up and grab it out of the air.
Do we have to?
You do. Give me a second.
Hey, DM.
Yeah.
Can we just keep going down the stairs and not play with the creepy rabbit? Please.
If you would like to. Peter, you grab it and not a acceptable card. Do it again. There we go. That's an acceptable card.
That's an acceptable card.
like because the first one I pulled is not technically in the deck, so it was not an acceptable card. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, I hate you so much. Please tell me what this creature is instead of linking me to the monster manual. I don't want to buy it.
Monsters.
D&D, D&D, D&D Beyond.
Nat, we're gonna get copyrighted.
No, we're not.
I told them to stop singing it. I told them we're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
So?
Okay, so Peter, you catch this card, and as
Awesome.
it kind of flows, you see that same red magic flow out from it, and the spotlight on Dougal goes out and appears on you, and a beautiful woman appears right in front of Peter. She is normal humanoid. So she's kind of looking down at you, and as you look up at her, she is just like, she has long, flowing hair, and almost as if it like moves on its own accord. Let's see what else they look like. Oh, she sees you, and then after a second, kind of shrinks down more, and now she's looking at you and in your eyes, and it's just like the most beautiful halfling woman you've ever seen in your life.
Well, it's a good thing I have counter charm, so don't even try.
Okay. I'm gonna keep the same initiative order, but the new creature is just gonna go at the end of it. So it is Peter up first.
I
as
see.
you encounter this woman.
Hold on. I kind of want to try something.
Go ahead. Always trying something here in the Court of Spades.
So she just appeared, but when I grabbed the card, it was just like a puff of smoke, and she like appeared before me, or like not the puff of smoke, but like the red magic.
Yeah, that appeared in front of you.
Okay. Well, could I cast the spell magic on her?
Yes, you can.
Cool. Hold on, let me pull up the spell magic. Let's see here. Yep, choose any creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower. For each spell of ability check using your. For each spell higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting modifier. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends. Okay, so I don't know if you can answer that for me, but I guess was the summoning of her the result of a specific spell, or because of a magical? Well, it was because of a magical item.
It's because of a magical item.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, this spell will work against her. I'll just outright tell you that. So
Okay.
Go ahead and cast it.
Yeah, right. So I cast it, and then I have to make an. Is it a 4th level spell or higher?
I don't believe so.
Okay, because any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. So just outright, if it's 3rd level or lower.
Yeah, it immediately dispels because it is just technically just an illusion created by the card.
Okay. So I just imagine Peter just pissed off, grabs the card before it even hits him. He looks at it. This beautiful woman appears, trying to swoo him. Kind of rolls his eyes, casts a spell magic on her. I don't know if she poofs away or what happens.
Yeah, you see her look shocked and then enraged, and then she disappears.
And I just with the card in my hand just crumpled up, and I look at it with my hands up at Bugle. I'm like that scene from Gladiator. Are you not entertained?
The card singes your hand for a quick second, but not like enough to actually do damage, and it disappears from your hand.
This isn't fair. How come you got the cute lady? That was easy to get rid of. How come you got the cute card?
Jez, I don't think that's really important right now. Guys, should we just, again, should we fucking run for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear the spotlight one more time appear off to your left this time, and now do on the other side of the arena. Well, that wasn't very fun. Let's try one more time.
Fucking kidding me.
And he goes, now this card's one of my favorites. And he
Well, you know where you can stick that card.
down. I don't know what symbols are.
Can we just run? Can we?
Yeah, you guys can run. You have to make survival checks. With disadvantage. Actually, just make a normal survival check because the light from the spotlight gives you enough light that your vision adjusts just the slightest bit to the darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, let's book it, guys.
Make a normal survival check as you use the light from his spotlight. As you guys start,
Christ, Marin.
as you guys start booking it, though,
Oh
he
my god.
plays a card. Oh, thank you, Nyx, for the first time in your fucking life. Thank you for doing something right. He got a fucking 17 survival check.
I got 13.
I got a 6.
I got a
God
12.
damn it.
Okay. You throw down. You guys start making your way down. What did Jez get?
12.
12. Okay.
13.
Alrighty. So you guys start booking it down the stairs using what little light from the spotlight that you can to navigate your way. But as you are making it, Marin, your foot catches on something, which you realize in a half second before you bite it is Jez's staff. And you kind of step on it and roll and lunge forward, and you end up catching the back of Jez as you run. And the two of you take not as bad a tumble as Peter did originally, but you slam down on the ground, and Jez, you catch Marin's fall.
Okay.
So,
how much damage do I take, though?
You take 2 points of fall damage, and Marin, you take 4 points of fall damage.
Fuck.
Well, Jez's face hits the floor and they have a bloody nose now.
As you fall, Nyx hears you guys fall, and he runs back and grabs both of your hands and just like yanks you to your feet. And after, like, he doesn't even take time to like make sure you're okay. He's like, come on. And he starts rushing you down the stairs. As this is happening, and you guys make your way towards the bottom of the stairs to the edge where the arena drops down, you see from the corner of your eye this, all of the lights in the arena come on except for the ones in the pit, and the blackness is just this huge funnel going straight down. So when you reach the edge where the safety guard is on the wall, it's like if you reached out, you'd be putting your hand in a giant, like, cylinder of darkness. You cannot see inside it. And all the stadium lights turn on, not dispersing that darkness, but you see the hulking figure of a hill giant just rising up. It's kind of like pushing at the top of the tent, but the tent is very, very tall.
Oh, Jesus.
And it is, like, crashing and destroying the stairs beneath it as it makes its way towards you. What would you like to do?
It's in the pit, but we're technically outside the pit on the railings.
No, it is not in the pit.
Oh.
It is in the audience where, like, right behind where so it's, I would say, distance-wise, it's probably about, like, 50 feet away from you, because it's kind of on the other side of the arena, but it is, like, very quickly making its way around, because it can't pass through the center. It's not passing through the pit in the center because of the huge column of blackness that is happening in the center.
Christ.
Like,
the fuck are the proprietors?
How many stairs back was my staff?
It was probably like you landed on the stair like 2 down from your staff. So if you want to grab that before Nyx like yanked you to your feet and started tugging you, you can.
Yeah. I want to do that. Give me a stick. A big stick. Anyway.
Okay, so you grab your stick. All right.
Thanks.
Let's see.
Now's not the time for that, Jez.
Peter kind of like looks up and he's just like, listen, as much as I would love to poof away another one of your cards here, we got a meeting with your proprietor. Alright?
As you say that,
The bugler does not respond.
Dougal appears like drops down right in front of you
Good.
and looks at you in the face and goes, "What did you just say?"
Peter gulls and is just like, your good pal Marion out there says that the proprietors would love to see us now. So if you wouldn't mind.
His ears like droop down and you see his eye kind of dilate with fear. And he mumbles, Proprietors, okay. And then he looks at you and then turns around and just runs backwards into the towards the entrance where you just came in.
The fuck?
And you see on the other side of the stadium, the giant just like evaporates. And the lights go out again. And then you see from the pit, you hear a low cackling sound. And a dark blue glow begins to form and spread from the center. And it's slowly crawling towards you, and you can see that it is that light, the same kind of lightning that you saw crawling on the outside the tent, only this time it's completely electrocuting the entire ground around them, and it starts to emit this blue glow, and in the center, you see standing before you, not one, not two, but 3 large hags gathered around a large cauldron-like object as they stare up at you and say, in unison, "Oh, step into our office, dearies."
Could we just hold this in a public space?
I'm actually going to end the session right there. And we'll pick up from there next time, just because I don't want to get into. This is going to be kind of a part.
Right.
Thank you.
So I don't want to keep going. But yes, absolutely. I want to address a few things. One, first of all, thank you all so much for coming and playing. I love it. This is very fun for me. I'm sorry for the anxiety-inducing ambiance.
It's fine.
Are you though? Are you really, Emily?
Thank you to anyone else who came to listen. I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention at all to chat, but I didn't want to be distracted. One thing I want to say is that I homebrewed an element of the Deck of Many Things for this, because the alternate choice was the Deck of Illusions, because the alternate choice was the Deck of Many Things. And
Oh god.
I love
yeah,
you guys,
don't-
and I didn't want to completely obliterate the entire party before we got to the end. So instead of doing that, the nature of the circus is very much the line between what is an illusion and what is reality is very blurred because of the magic that they use in the circus.
Mhm.
So instead of like using the deck of many things, which is literally the probably most deadliest fucking item in all of D&D, I just made it so that the deck of illusions, the illusion was an actual manifested creature instead of just an illusion that would be dispersed as soon as you like tried to attack it.
Right.
So that's what I did. I promise you, I know how the I know how the so I just did it this way because I thought it would be a lot kinder to the gameplay. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope the audience enjoyed it. And man, wonder what happened to Gunby, man.
Gunby's dead.
T, stop it.
But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll pick this
Thank
up
you.
again probably
that's great.
next week. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be at the normal time next week as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry
instead
for
of this
causing
early.
issues again.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna go finish my sandwich, put on some makeup, and then go to a play.
Are we
Alright.
still live?
Yeah, give me just a second.